Molweni, namkelekile eklasini yami yesiXhosa. Hi everyone, welcome to my Xhosa class. Today our goal is to learn 10,000 sentences plus minus in a short time. And we're going to do this by learning how to combine elements of the language to create sentences. And basically we don't need to know a lot of elements, but with the combinations of these elements, we can create a lot of sentences. Today is part 1, so we'll only learn about 3,000 sentences because we're going to stick to the present tense. We'll start off with these simple phrases. Ukufunda incwadi, which is to learn or to read a book. Ukusela amanzi, which means to drink water. Ukutya isonka, to eat bread. And ukuya ekhaya, to go home. There is another verb to go home in Xhosa, which is ukugoduka. Goduka means to go home in general, but you can interchange that with ukuya ekhaya, literally to go home. The first step is to conjugate one of these sentences. So we can take ukuya ekhaya and conjugate it for the 6 persons. I, the first person singular, second person, third person, etc. So we get ndiya ekhaya, I am going home. Uya ekhaya, you are going home. Uya ekhaya, he or she is going home. Siya ekhaya, we are going home. Niya ekhaya, you guys are going home. And baya ekhaya, they are going home. The next step is to change the sentence into one of 4 moods. So we can just say the sentence as a statement, the positive mood. Ndifunda incwadi, I'm reading a book. We can say it negatively, negated. Andifundi incwadi, or andifundi incwadi. Normally the object drops the first vowel in isiXhosa when you negate it. I am not reading a book. Or ndifunda incwadi, am I reading a book? Andiyifundi incwadi, am I not reading a book? So notice here this yi in andiyifundi incwadi is just the object marker. So it's very natural to add this extra object marker in Xhosa. You don't have to, you could say andifundi incwadi, but it sounds more natural to say andiyifundi incwadi. Am I not reading it, the book? So we could have other examples like abafundi incwadi, they don't read the book, they're not reading a book. Siya ekhaya, are we going home? Niyasitya isonka, are you guys eating bread, or do you guys eat bread? Note that you could also add na for a question. Niyasitya isonka na. Andiyi ekhaya, I am not going home. And now, if we change the objects, we can make many more sentences. So basically, instead of saying ukufunda incwadi, I can say ukufunda isiXhosa, because ukufunda is not only to read, but also to learn or to study. So that would be to study Xhosa. Ukufunda isibulu, to learn Afrikaans. And ukufunda isingesi, to learn English. So for ukusela, this is only for cold drinks. So we had ukusela amanzi. You also can say ukusela ibiya, to drink beer. But for warm drinks, you need to actually change the verb to ukuphunga. We could say ukuphunga ikofu, to drink coffee, or ukuphunga iti, to drink tea. Ukutya inyama would be to eat meat. Ukutya inhlanzi, to eat fish. And by changing ekhaya, we could have a lot of new sentences with ukuya, to go. Ukuya esikolweni, to go to school. Ukuya emsebenzini, to go to work. Ukuya edolophini, to go to town. And ukuya ezivenkileni, to go to the shops. Remember that ukuhamba is to go in general, to leave. But if you want to go somewhere to a destination with this destination in the sentence, you need to use ukuya and not ukuhamba. Now we can create new sentences like asifundi sibulu, sifunda isiXhosa. We are not learning Afrikaans, we are learning Xhosa. Andiseli ibiya, ndisela amanzi. I am not drinking beer, I'm drinking water. Actually, you would write andiseli beer. Baphunga ikofu, they are drinking coffee. Andityi nyama, I don't eat meat. Or andiyityi nyama, andiyityi inyama. Baya esikolweni na, are they going to school? Do they go to school? The next step is we're going to add modal verbs. We're going to change these sentences in a way that you can say, I want to do something, I have to do something, or I can do something. The first one is ukufuna, to want to. So, sifuna ukufunda isiXhosa. We want to learn isiXhosa. Andifuni kuya ekhaya. I don't want to go home. Or if you're using goduka, andifuni kugoduka. I don't want to go home. Ufuna ukutya isonka. Do you want to eat bread? Asifuni kuphunga iti. We don't want to drink tea. Sifuna ukuphunga ikofu. We want to drink coffee. The next modal is ukukwazi, to be able to. So, although ukukwazi is literally knowledge, and although there is a more traditional way of saying you can do something, you are able to do something, which is ndinako uku. But generally, in spoken Xhosa, one uses ukukwazi. So, ndiyakwazi ukufunda isiXhosa. I can learn isiXhosa. Andikwazi kuya emsebenzini. I can't go to work. Uyakwazi ukuya esikolweni. Can you go to school? Bayakwazi ukutya inhlanzi. Can they eat fish? The last modal verb we're going to look at today is kufuneka. This is just saying one has to. So it is necessary that. And when you use kufuneka, you have to add the verb conjugated for the person, but in the subjunctive. So basically, instead of the a at the end of the conjugation, you're going to have e. Kufuneka ndisele amanzi. I need to drink water. I must drink water. Kufuneka siye ekhaya. We must go home. Akufuneki nifunde isingesi. You guys don't have to learn English. It is not necessary that you learn English. Akufuneki baye emsebenzini na. Do they not need to go to work? Now, if we sum this up and we do the maths, we had our list of 16 sentences with the new objects. We can times this by 6 for the 6 persons that we conjugate, and that gives us 96 sentences. We can then multiply that by 4 for the 4 moods, positive, question, negative, etc. That gives us 384 sentences. If we then multiply that by 4, because we can say that without a modal, but we can say it with can, want to, and must, that gives us 1,536 sentences. And now, simply by adding a modifier like namhlanje, today, we can say all of those sentences again in a new way, and that gives us over 3,000 sentences. I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for part 2.